All right, so I told you guys that I would help you out with a couple of problems on your homework on 5-4. So I'm going to go over, well, let's do number 7. How about number 5 and number 7? So you may want to get out your notes for a double angle so that you have these formulas handy. These are the ones I'm talking about. So we're going to be using those sum and difference formulas to expand some of these things. So numbers 4 and 5, you're just supposed to make the left side look like the right, like we did in all of our proofs. So we're just going to expand this out using the double angle, the sum for cosine. So this would be cosine of x, cosine of pi halves, minus sine of x, sine of pi halves equals negative sine x. All right, so the ones that have an actual value we could solve. Remember, pi halves is up there at the top. X is 0, y is 1, r is 1. So we have cosine of x times cosine of pi halves, and the cosine is x over r, so this is just 0, minus sine of x, sine of pi halves, it's y over r, so this is 1, equals negative sine x. So this is just 0, so we have negative sine x equals negative sine x. So number 4 is very, very similar to that. Okay, I'm also going to skip down and do number 7. It also has a sum for cosine, but you notice that it's added to that a difference for cosine. So we're going to use this and expand both parts. You'll expand both parts here, expand both parts down here as well. So I just picked this one because it was in the middle. So we're going to expand this just like we did up there. We have cosine of pi thirds, cosine of x, minus sine of pi thirds, sine of x, plus. Okay, so this part is just this portion. So now we've got plus, and then we're going to expand this. And this is the difference for cosine. So it's going to be cosine of pi thirds, cosine of x, plus sine of pi thirds, sine of x. So this is this portion expanded out. So it looks a lot worse before it gets better. But now we can start simplifying. So if we look right here, we can simplify some things really quickly right off the bat. We have a negative sine pi thirds sine x and a positive sine pi thirds pi x, sine x. So those are going to zero out. So now I've just got cosine pi thirds cosine x plus cosine pi thirds cosine x. Okay. So now I just need to figure out, well, what is the cosine of pi thirds? Because these we can simplify. So remember, pi thirds is 60 degrees. So we've got 1, 2, square root of 3. And the cosine is x over r. So 1 over 2. So this is 1/2 cosine x plus 1/2 cosine x. And 1/2 cosine plus 1/2 cosine would just be 1 cosine, or just cosine x. So all of that simplifies to just cosine x. So maybe that will help you guys out. I knew that these were going to be pretty lengthy, and I didn't want you to get confused. You just expand both parts and then simplify.